millions of men have stopped approaching women. Not because they can't, not because they don't know how, but because the risk isn't worth it anymore. Rejection isn't the fear. The fear is public shamming, false accusations, and ruined reputations. Men are quietly opting out of dating, and women are just starting to notice. This is the largest withdrawal of male attention in history, and it's changing everything about modern dating. Something unprecedented is happening right now. Millions of men have quietly stopped approaching women altogether. Not because they don't know how or can't, but because they've weighed the risks and decided it's not worth it. We're seeing the largest withdrawal of male attention in history, and women are just starting to notice. Some are confused, frustrated, even angry. But men are protecting themselves. And it's not about preference, it's about safety. The numbers are staggering. Surveys show that a huge percentage of men under 30 haven't approached a woman in over a year. Some have never done it at all. These aren't shy guys or introverts. These are normal men who looked at modern dating and said, "I'm good." They've seen what happens to men who take that risk, and the cost of being wrong has become catastrophic. Rejection isn't the fear anymore. Men are afraid of destruction. They're worried about being recorded and mocked online. They're worried about being accused of harassment just for saying hello. Their reputation can be ruined in an instant for misreading signals. I've heard stories from clients that would have been unimaginable 10 years ago. One man complimented a coworker's new hairstyle and got called into HR for making her uncomfortable. Another asked a woman for coffee after weeks of chatting, and she posted about him online, calling him a creep with his photo attached. These aren't outliers, they're becoming the norm. Meanwhile, some women wonder why men won't approach. They post online asking, "Why won't men try anymore?" while also celebrating the men who were called out for taking risks. They destroy the very men they want, then wonder why no one steps forward. Even in everyday spaces, attempts to meet men have become awkward. Hardware stores, gyms, auto parts shops, men are there to get tasks done, not to be approached. One client told me about a woman who kept showing up at the auto store he shops at, clearly trying to start conversations. He avoided her completely. Why? Because engaging could be seen as harassment later. The safest choice is no interaction at all. The double standards in dating and relationships have become dangerous for men. Some women say they want a man who leads, but the moment he does, he's controlling. They want the benefits of male leadership without the responsibility of giving real leadership space. Boundaries have become a minefield. A man says he's uncomfortable with his girlfriend posting certain photos online. He's controlling. She tells him which friends to cut off, how to dress, where to go. She's just asserting her standards. A man having any preference is toxic. A woman having preferences is just knowing her worth. The hypocrisy is clear. Women can have income, height, house, and car requirements. Those are standards. A man wanting a partner without an OnlyFans account or an extensive sexual history, he's insecure, misogynistic, or toxic. Normal compliments have become dangerous. So what happens next? Men aren't just disappearing, they're redefining how they interact with women entirely. Instead of taking risks in public, they retreat into safer spaces. Online communities, video games, hobbies, work, they engage where there's no danger of being misinterpreted or exposed. Some men choose selective interaction. They'll only pursue someone who clearly signals interest and understands the risks men face. Random compliments, casual conversations, even friendly approaches, those are disappearing. The margin for error is zero, and men know it. This isn't about fear of women. It's fear of consequences. And those consequences are increasingly public and permanent. A single misstep can lead to social media harassment, professional setbacks, or even legal trouble. It's no wonder millions have decided, not worth it. At the same time, dating culture hasn't caught up. Women may notice men pulling away, but often don't realize why. The very culture that encourages women to speak up about harassment also creates an environment where men feel unsafe showing interest. This contradiction fuels confusion and resentment on both sides. So what does this mean for dating in the next decade? Men will continue to pull back unless the risk-reward balance shifts. Approaches will become calculated, interactions cautious, and opportunities for organic connection rarer. For women wondering why men aren't trying like they used to, this is the answer. It's not rejection, it's protection. And until the social rules around dating, consent, and boundaries are clearer and more consistent, this trend isn't going away. The truth is, men aren't disappearing because they don't want relationships or companionship. They aren't rejecting women personally, they're rejecting the risk. And this risk isn't minor. It's not a bad date or an awkward conversation. The risk today can cost a man his career, his reputation, or his social life in ways that didn't exist even a decade ago. Think about it. 10 years ago, approaching someone you liked might have led to a polite rejection. Today, a simple hello could end up on social media with a viral hashtag, comments from strangers, and a permanent digital record. Men watch this happen and learn quickly. The stakes are too high. And once you realize that, every casual interaction carries a weight you can't ignore. That's why so many men have stopped trying altogether. They've withdrawn from public spaces, from social events, from casual encounters that once defined normal dating life. They still want connection, but now they seek it in controlled environments, private chats, long-term communities, spaces where the risk of misinterpretation is low. They're still social, but very carefully selective. Meanwhile, the cultural message is mixed. Women are encouraged to assert boundaries and call out bad behavior, which is completely valid. But the same culture often celebrates shamming men who misstep, even in minor or unintended ways. This creates a situation where men feel trapped. There's no clear map for how to engage safely, no formula for acceptable behavior that guarantees they won't be accused or humiliated. And it's not just about public spaces or social media. Workplace interactions are now fraught with fear. Complimenting a colleague, asking someone to lunch, even casual joking, all of it carries potential professional consequences. Men have to constantly assess whether their actions could be reported, misinterpreted, or weaponized. And the safest choice, time and time again, is inaction. This isn't just theory, it's happening everywhere. Dating apps show the same trend. Men swipe less aggressively, send fewer messages, and hesitate to express interest. The old dating rules no longer apply. Being forward or assertive, once seen as confident, can now be interpreted as harassment. Politeness, friendliness, and initiative all are filtered through the lens of potential risk. So what's the impact? For one, organic connections are becoming rare. Women notice fewer men approaching, fewer casual conversations, fewer gestures of interest. But it's not because men don't want these connections, they do. They just want them without risking destruction. And this has ripple effects. Men who remain cautious may end up isolated, creating frustration and loneliness. Women may feel overlooked or confused, wondering why the world seems to have fewer genuine, interested men. Social spaces that used to feel vibrant now feel transactional or tense. Mutual misunderstanding grows because the rules of engagement are unclear. The problem isn't men or women individually, it's the structure of modern dating itself. The costs for men have skyrocketed, while expectations have remained high or even increased. The culture demands men be bold, confident, and assertive, but punishes them when they do. It demands respect for boundaries, but often doesn't hold women accountable when boundaries are applied inconsistently. Until this imbalance is addressed, the withdrawal will continue. Men will protect themselves, and women will notice more and more that the men who used to approach them freely are now missing from the landscape. This isn't speculation, it's already happening. The question is how society, dating culture, and personal interactions adapt to this new reality. At the end of the day, this isn't about men versus women. It's about understanding the reality we're living in. Men are withdrawing, not because they don't care, but because the cost of engagement has become too high. Women are noticing, feeling frustrated or confused, but the solution isn't blame, it's awareness. Real connection only happens when both sides feel safe, respected, and understood. Until we acknowledge the risks men face, until we balance expectations with consequences, this cycle will continue. The takeaway is simple. Empathy and clarity matter more than ever. Men need spaces where they can engage without fear of permanent fallout. Women need to understand the new dynamics and how they shape male behavior. Dating today is complicated, but it doesn't have to be a battlefield. Mutual respect, clear communication, and realistic expectations can rebuild trust, connection, and courage.